Hey, what is up guys? It's Stan here back with another video. So what I've got here is the Edelkrone JibONE that I picked up a few months ago. And I actually did a full review of this unit. And if you want to check that out, I'll make sure to link that in the description down below. But basically in that review, I said that this unit is very good at what it does. It does the swings, it pans very well. However, what I probably didn't say was that I thought that the mechanism to change from a vertical swing to a horizontal pan was a little bit cumbersome, that you had to unscrew and dismantle and then change it to the pan, and it was just a lot of work. And also I thought that there was a lot of potential in this unit, but it only did one thing very well. You know, it only moved in one direction, and it'd be amazing if it could, you know, do the pan as well. Being that this is a JibONE, the one type units are kind of entry level or, you know, non-pro. The Edelkrone usually has like a one version and a pro version. Well, I thought perhaps we'll get a Jib Pro in the future with a motor on the bottom to be able to both go up and down and side to side panning. But it looks like they didn't do that. What they did was they released this right here. This is the Edelkrone Pan Pro that goes very well with the JibONE. And what this does is it adds the panning functionality to the JibONE, and it actually works with a lot of the other devices as well, but it has a very, very high load of 30 pounds or so, so it's able to support all of this. So what I'll do is I'll get this thing unboxed, installed, and we'll take a look at how well this thing works. All right, so out of the box here, what you get is a user manual for the Pan Pro, and it shows you the alternate ways of using the Pan Pro, both with the slider as well as the jib, and you know, I'll probably take a look at that in a moment. Also in the box, some instructions about how to win some money, win some equipment, and then you've got the actual unit. So this right here, this is the Pan Pro. And you can see it's a single unit. It's designed to screw into the tripod on the bottom. And then at the very top here, you mount whatever you've got. And this thing is able to spin. It's got a single battery bracket. So this bracket is built directly into the unit. When you buy the Pan Pro, it'll come with the battery bracket. It looks like this actually may be removable. It's got two little screws on the inside here, but when I bought it, it just came as the LPE6 version. Perhaps in the future, you might be able to buy another bracket. I'm not sure, for Sony batteries or whatever. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but it looks like it may actually be removable. In any case, on the back side, you've got a little lock button here. So this will allow you to get this thing unlocked, and then you can probably spin it, and then you can lock it again, probably to make sure that it doesn't spin by itself. So what I'll do is get this all dismantled, get this thing mounted, and the JibONE mounted on top of this thing. On the bottom here, you can see that this has a 3/8 inch screw that screws directly into the tripod. Now there isn't any countersunk screws or anything else to lock it into place. It just kind of goes right on like so. There's no way to realign this. It just kind of sits there. So by unlocking this right here, this allows you to rotate as needed. And then when you want to lock it into place again, you can just push down and it locks into place. Functionally here, the JibONE basically still functions the exact same way. It does the swings, and the Head Plus unit still works as the same way. However, now that we've got the Pan Pro here, it adds about 2 inches of additional height, so everything's just a little bit higher. And And that's really not a problem for the JibONE, especially since I've got this in the underslung mode, but even if you had it on top, it's probably not that big of a deal. Now, the Pan Pro does have a power button. So when you do power it on, you get a little teeny tiny OLED that displays. It's not paired, and it's also in idle mode. And you also get a little battery indicator here. So this is really nice. This is actually kind of in line with the new generation of the sliders that they have. I think it's like the version 5 sliders. Also has a little power button and a little OLED display, black and white OLED display. So first up, the locking mechanism. What you'll find is the locking mechanism has multiple notches, and you can hear that right there. So this is a locking point, and if you unlock and rotate a few more degrees, that's another locking point. So every 30 degrees or so, you have another notch where you can lock. So this is very flexible, and you can find whatever angle or whatever direction you want to lock it in. It'll probably find one that's pretty easy or pretty close to whatever you want. So from here, what you'll do is you can go into the Edelkrone app and start pairing up the Head Plus with the JibONE along with the Pan Pro and bundle them all together in the app. What probably will happen as you fire it up, the app, is that it'll tell you that there is an update. So just go ahead and update to the latest firmware. Edelkrone's actually pretty good about updating their equipment. You probably get an update once every month or once every couple months. There's always something new they're working on. So that's kind of cool that you can actually push firmware updates to these units. With the Pan Pro, it's installed onto the JibONE unit. Now you can see within the app, you have more options to be able to move this unit here. On the left here, you have the head unit that you always had the option to do the full 60 turns, up, down, left, right for the head unit. But before, with the JibONE, you only have the up and down option for your swings. Now, however, you have the option to go left or right. And as you can see here, the JibONE is now actually panning a little bit as it goes. One criticism or one negative, I don't know if it's a bug or if it's intended, but it looks like the Pan Pro isn't particularly fast of a unit. And what I mean by that is the head unit seems to move pretty quickly here. You can see if I pull the head unit to the full left here, it does move here. And it looks like the jib itself, if I pull the jib down, you see it'll move. But the Pan Pro relative to the two, it feels like it moves a little slower. You can see it's moving a little slower. It is rated for 30 pounds of weight, so I don't know if it's working as intended or if there's a bug in there that is causing it to move a little slower, because going from point A to point B, like a full half circle turn, it takes almost 30 seconds when you double click it, moving at the fastest speed. So in like a 50% speed rotating turn, it takes about 60 some seconds. So what I'm trying to say is the speed at which it moves, as you can see again here, if I do a full swing, the speed at which it moves is almost perfect for your B-roll shots. This is probably the speed I want to move at, but it's also running at 100% speed. So it's not going to be particularly fast compared to a slider or compared to, again, the other components here. But is that a deal breaker? No, I don't really think so, because you can see here, this is awesome. Being able to move up and down, left and right, it gives the JibONE a whole new dimension, quite literally a whole new dimension to play with, to be able to move and frame your shots. And with the Pan Pro, with the JibONE, I honestly don't think you really need a slider or a Head Plus on a slider anymore. This one unit can do everything and more, because again, the slider goes left, right. With the head unit, you could do the 360, but no vertical movement, right? This right here, up, down, left, right. And on top of that, you have the Head Plus unit to be able to rotate or to be able to go up and down as you need. This right here, this is like a cheap version of one of those arms with the camera on it, you know, with one of those robotic arms. This thing's amazing. So in conclusion, if you have a JibONE and you really hate having to readjust the angles to be able to do a diagonal swing or a horizontal pan, pick up the Pan Pro, because it allows you to go up and down. It allows you to go diagonal, because, you know, the pan moving and the swing at the same time, or it can, you know, lock it in and go fully just horizontal pan, again with the Head Plus unit. This thing is, you can position it however you want. This thing is amazing, and it really opens up the possibilities of this unit here. That's probably why they came out with the JibONE, knowing that they were coming out with the Pan Pro instead of a Jib Pro, you know, whatever. I'm all getting mixed up in my words here, but in any case, I think you kind of get the idea. This is certainly a product you want to pick up if you have the JibONE. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, whatever. You do you. I'm Stan. I'll see you guys in the next one.